Hi everyone, welcome to the Shift Handover. Thanks for joining us once again. My name is Dan Sharp and I'm joined by my co-host,
Mark Smith.
And today we have an incredible guest with us, a guy who looks after all of our vulnerable patients at Dorchester Hospital.
Yeah.
My main man here, Khalil Graham.
Hey, you're right.
Welcome to the Shift Handover, Khalil.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Nice to have you along, mate. Nice
Yeah. So this is a side of security that not many people will see as well, because working in a hospital is very different to working in a shop or on a door or anything like that. I can't imagine you're going to be wrapping those patients up and dragging them out the hospital if they kick up.
I mean, to be fair, it is a lot of people don't think, oh, it's a hospital. A lot of people don't think, oh, they need security. But when you're actually there and you work there, it's a whole different ballgame. Like, because obviously you're there to protect not just obviously patients, but nurses. Because a lot of people don't realize how bad it is that some patients can be towards nurses. And like when you hear, if you got friends who are nurses and they say, "Our work was stressful," or "this person's got hit," or anything like that, they're not joking. These things actually happen.
Yeah.
And this is why it's always good to have security in hospital, because you can get a bleep to a ward, and some people might think, "Oh, you just see security just running through the hospital," but not knowing that it's either someone's been hurt, patients obviously locked themselves in the room, or something like that. So you do get a different variety of things, not every single day, but there's always, every bleep is a different bleep to do with different things.
Yeah. And I imagine as well, working on the doors, you're dealing with just people who are drunk and acting not the best versions of themselves. But I imagine in your situation, the people who are displaying challenging behaviour, it's because of their own vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to have that level of insight towards that as well.
I mean, obviously, the doors, me personally, I think obviously with doing the doors and doing hospital, I do learn to like keep a calm self towards everyone, because you think if you're doing like people at the door, right? People going in, they're drinking, you don't know what else people are doing, and then they come out, you do get that aggression from other people. But a lot of people, like, they will, once they see you being calm, obviously they're high rated. You're just calm, you're speaking to them, just say, look, is it possible you can calm down? And I have it where a lot of people will genuinely calm down because you're not antagonizing them. You're just trying to de-escalate the situation. So I mean, working in the two different sectors, you can put it into one. Me personally, I put it into one because I believe in having a conversation first, and unless there's an actual physical retaliation, then you don't need to be physical with people. Like a lot of times, I would say 8 out of 10 times, people just be like, okay, cool, no worries, and then they can leave. Yeah. So you do get to balance it quite well.
Yeah.
But that's testament to your experience. How long have you done this job for now?
I would say, so I've done hospitals now, 8 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say about 8 years, and then doors, I'd say 9 years.
Yeah, so that's great. So that screams to me your experience.
Yeah.
And I always find that of all the years I've done security and employed staff, the physical option is normally the more inexperienced, because not always. Obviously, some people are just a bit hot-headed and like to be trigger happy, but a lot of the time they resort to brute force and ignorance, as I call it, because they don't know how to deal with it. But you've obviously now you've mastered your art, so you know how to speak to people and you understand, and you've got a nice smile, and things like that make a big difference. I
mean, I will definitely say you're right on that one, because there are times where I've even thought to myself, like I'll get a call to a security call, and it's like you might have like site managers there or bosses there, and the person who they're dealing with, he's like very high rated.
Yeah.
But then I'll come along and I'm like, I'll just genuinely have a conversation with you, because I'm like a very people's person. I can talk to you about anything. I can get along with you about anything.
Yeah.
But I will always be like, okay, let me put myself in that person's shoe.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to be like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to stay back here and then let everyone else deal with it. No, your job is security. You're there to protect everyone else who may be in front of you, who have attended the bleep before you. So you do have to come correct when you speak to certain people. And it's something I do all the time, put myself in other people's shoes. Because I would say as well, if let's say, for example, you your partner is giving birth on maternity. You're not
Yeah.
allowed upstairs, for example.
Yeah.
You go there. Obviously, they told you not allowed to come, and you're going to kick off because you want to see your child. That's your
course.
child. And then obviously security comes. As soon as some people see security, they then think, okay, cool, I'm going to just get high rated now, and then we'll deal with the consequence after. But someone like myself who will go there and be like, hey mate, like, let me just chat to you over here, because sometimes it's better to take them away from everyone else than to keep them where everyone's listening to the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because I've had it where people's had conversations with me, they've been very high rated. I'll come along and be like, do you mind if I just talk to you over here? Let's me and you have a conversation. You explain to me what's going on. I can obviously let you know the situation that I've been told as well. We can come to a mutual ground. And I would say quite a lot of times they do just be, okay, cool. Do you mind if I sit downstairs, just calm down, whatever? I'm like, look, let's go downstairs. We'll get you a drink or something like that. And then chat to me if you want. I don't mind listening to you, because at the end of the day, you might be going through something which I've been through before.
Yes.
Or I might be thinking something in my head where you're going through, like, you've been through before. So you just like build that rapport with people, and it's always good to build rapport with people, because
Absolutely.
you see them on the outside, and it's like, oh mate, I've met you, like, you good, da, da, da. And I had this just the other day.
Yeah.
We had a patient kicking off in ED. Left. I seen him. So I finished work at it was like 7:15 when I left work. I was going in the shop, seen him, and he was like, oh, you're that security guard from the night. I was like, yeah. I was like, how are you feeling? Like, obviously when you came in, unresponsive, this and that, and he was like, no, I'm good. He was like, but thanks obviously looking after me. Like, you went and got me a drink. Like, I've asked for a drink like multiple times. You brought me a sandwich as well. Like,
brilliant.
He was quite, for when someone says something like that, it just makes you feel good about yourself and good about your job, that you've gone out your extra way to help someone.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something I would say that is quite a key thing, to be honest with you.
And the other thing is, mate, he's going to go around now and tell everyone about that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll tell people about that.
Yeah.
And then that's good. It's a good recommendation for you. I know you don't think of it at the time, but, you know, come back into the hospital. Where's the nice security guard? Do you know what I mean? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
your reputation starts to precede you then. You know?
Yeah, it does.
I think what's really powerful about that is that all of us can make a decision to whether or not we want to go out, get really drunk and kick off in a nightclub. None of us can decide whether or not we're going to have to go to hospital.
Yeah, facts. That's absolutely true.
Any one of us could be in that person's shoes.
Because the thing is, a lot of people think, oh yeah, tonight I'm going to just have 2 drinks. Does 2 drinks really count as 2 drinks? And the amount of times I will have people at my door, I have he's a very good friend now. But I've been doing my door, like I said, like 9 years, right? And I've known him, I know the locals there very well. I have respect for them, they have respect for me at all times. But there's one guy, every time he's got work the following day, and he's in, he'll be like, I got work tomorrow. I need to be out here by 11 o'clock. Imagine I start work at 9.
Yeah.
So when 11 o'clock comes, I go in, I'm like, all right, you're going to finish the pint, or do you want to take it with you? And majority of the times he'll be like, I'll take it with him. Give him a plastic, he'll take it. And this has been going on for at least a year or more. So if he's got work, he will be like, I need to leave at 11, and that's it. But then there's other people who, they'll be like, oh, now we're just popping in for 1, 2. And I'm like, okay, cool. Closing the door at 2 o'clock in the morning. And next minute, they're literally like the last people coming out. That was a long 2. Did you see that? It doesn't make sense, but no one, you can never predict. The alcohol can just make you switch just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. Mind-altering substance. You know, I used to get asked a lot by people like, you know, what were some of the most challenging times of the door? It was people that I knew that could be you or I, it could be normal people, or friends that come out and they've had a few beers and they just like turn into different people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, or someone said that guy's got to leave, and I'm like, no, he's all right, he's so and so. He's like one of my best mates, and he turns a complete arsehole.
Yeah.
You know, drink or drugs just changes them so incredibly.
But
doesn't
then does that make you feel like, you know, like if it's like one of your friends, does it make you think like, oh wait, hold on, I don't got to deal with you tomorrow as well?
Yeah, exactly.
In a group chat or something like that. And for somehow you end up being the bad guy.
Yeah, you do.
There'll always be that one level-headed person in the group that will be like, no, like you've gone to his job and you're the one messing around.
That's right.
Like, you should have respect considering that's your friend.
Exactly.
But I do find that quite a lot. To be honest with you. I do find that a lot.
So do you think your time working in the hospital has made you a better doorman?
100%. 100%. Because I don't just deal with people who are kicking off in ED. I deal with people who's got dementia, people who's like psychotic. Like, it's very different of things. And to be honest with you, I've learned a lot doing those, like dealing with people. A lot of people, some people have like ADHD really badly, or some people just don't like to be touched or anything like that. But again, you've got to come calm and like speak to them, and just obviously that way you, like I said, build a rapport.
Yeah.
Because once you build that rapport there, oh, they will see you walking past their room, and they'll be like, oh, like, can I just borrow you a second? I don't mind having. I got like a 12-hour shift. If you want me to talk to you for 5 of that hours, I don't mind. Let's just talk about any random things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like any random things. A gentleman, he's very old. I'm talking war times. He was telling me things, and I was thinking, to be honest with you, I've never listened to history.
It's interesting. But
what you've got to say right now, it is quite interesting for me. And I'm just like, I'll sit there, and some people will look at me like, bro, why you sat there for so long? I'm like, well, I don't really need to do a patrol because nothing's going on right now. This gentleman here, he's like getting a bit agitated. I don't mind sitting and having that conversation, because some people do look, like, especially elderly people, they look for that company that they can just relate something to, speak to. Because obviously with nurses, like, a lot of people think, oh, nurses just sit down or they go to sleep. No, these nurses, bro, they are busy.
Yeah, all the time.
Like, you might have one nurse to like 7 different beds.
Yeah.
But then this patient might be kicking off. This patient needs to go to the toilet. Like, as a security guard, I will, if I see something like that, I will always say to the nurse, listen, patient needs to go to the toilet. Do you want me to like get a chair, wheel them there or anything like that? But it is a case where you do have to, like, doing hospital and doing the door, I would say the hospital is what made me understand the door a lot more. It might sound weird, but it's just the fact that you're dealing with different situations, not just being obviously drunk people. So it does have its benefit a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So explain to me, what's the normal shifts like working at the hospital then, Cliff?
Right, so I would say, okay, it all depends. So a lot of the times when I go in, I like to just get a handover from obviously like whoever's in charge in the daytime. So yes, I might speak to the supervisor, like security, but I would like to, if I'm working ED, because ED is an easier option to explain it. I'll go to the nurse in charge and be like, look, is there anyone you would like me just to keep an eye on? If they say yeah, no worries, I'll go knock the door. I'll be like, hey, introduce myself. I was like, if anything you need, by all means, you can just give me a shout, press the button. I'm more than happy to come help you. Because there are some people who will generally just want to go outside just for a cigarette and come back in. But I do patrols pretty much. I do it in a figure of 8. I'm very weird about this part. So I work out like a floor plan of a figure of 8 of how I'm going to go through this door here and come out the other door. But then I'm going to come back that way. But I'm still going to do a figure 8 because there's different departments. Like, ED is very confusing the way how they build a new one. And I would personally say, like, you do have, how can I explain it? You do have times where you've got to deal with a patient who's kicking off straight away. You do have times where there's nothing going on. So it can vary on what's going on just before you start your shift. But I do like to go each department just to check and see, look, is there anything going on? Do you need me to do this? Do you need me to do that? And I don't mind giving an extra hand. Like, as I said, these nurses, them are busy.
Yeah.
And are you allowed to do that? Because I know there are some roles where security, no, I don't know about hospitals, but other roles where security are not allowed to help the other staff do that role because of conflict of interest or...
No, I mean, so what I mean by helping, right? I mean in the case where you might have a patient, let's say in a mental health room, for example, that patient wants to smoke. That patient's also getting high rated. What's the one thing they want to do? Go for a cigarette.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Nurse, do you mind if I take X, Y, Z out just so they can have a cigarette? Don't go outside. Have that cigarette. We're having a conversation. Again, we're building rapport, right? Come back inside. I would say 9 out of 10 times it's thank you, man. Like, I need to have that cigarette or something like that. So that's what I mean by helping.
Yeah.
If I'm walking past like one of the rooms and I see like a patient's like hanging out the bed or something like that, I'll be like, oh, wait, hold on. I'll be like, give me 1 second. Let me grab one of the nurses. It could be a nurse which is just there. It could be a nurse which is, I'm grabbing one of you to come be like, look, it might not be your patient, but I'm still informing you that, look, this patient needs help. If they need help with obviously just bringing a patient up on the bed, I'm more than happy. I'm going to go on your go. You tell me where exactly on the sheet you would like me to hold. and I'll do it that way. So I don't mind going that extra mile just to help, obviously, the nurses or to help a patient.
See, it's interesting because before you came in, we were talking about standards. We were talking about what makes good door supervisors, and actually, we said about the extra mile, didn't we?
Yeah.
You can be standard, or you can offer that bit of extra.
Yeah.
It's not money related. It's not charging more, but that extra mile is what secures you. It's what makes people want you back.
It does
Yeah.
make a big, make a big difference.
And you said about empathy as well, putting yourself in their shoes. It's so important. So important.
Yeah.
You will never understand. This is one thing I've now understand. You will never understand what a patient is going through.
Never.
You'll never understand what someone on the door is going through. That's why they're drinking. I've had it before where a girl had just turned 18 and she had lost her mum. And this girl was, I'm talking for a good 2 months. I'm seeing this girl every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She's in there when we turn up, she's literally coming. And then she'll just be so drunk. And I'm like, no, this has got to stop. So then I know her sister. And I was like, yo, like, I called her sister next time. I was like, yo, like, your sister's been drinking for the last couple, like, weeks, like, really badly. Obviously, her sister doesn't live here. But I was like, you need to have a chat with her because I know obviously it's hit her hard, but I can't have her walking up the road by herself. Like, you're going to come out from us, you're going to walk up the road, anything can happen. And you're not just, it's not like you're just drinking like 2-3 shots. No, you're getting drunk that when you're coming down the stairs, a lot of the times I've clocked you coming down the stairs and I've got to walk towards the stairs, not make it obvious, but walk towards the stairs to help you come down.
Yeah.
And then anything can happen to you. And a lot of people don't realize this nowadays, like, well, especially like female, they don't realize like sometimes there's no cabs for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you want to take the long walk. You're in the dark. With all the crazy things that's going on right now, it's easier for you to be safe.
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier. So a lot of people don't understand that you just need to be quite like self-aware of like when you're drinking or when you're like in a hospital or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you just got to go that extra way of just being like, yeah, cool. Like, you know what? Let me like at least book your cab. Let me do this. Let me do that. And for me personally, I get like a buzz about helping people. And this is one thing my mum was always said to me. You literally wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
And for years, I never understand that. I never understand. But I kind of get what she means. It's like, I'm a very helpful person. But if needs be and I need to change the dynamics of things, it's quite simple for me, man.
Yeah.
It's quite simple for me.
I think one thing I've always said, because you've got young children like myself,
Yeah.
and that I would like door staff to, when my children are adults and drinking, I'd like door staff to treat them a different way. You know, if my boy's kicking off, of course he needs to be dealt with, and you can't do that. And I'd like the security, but there's a way of, and I think it's important that doormen treat customers the way they would want their own children to be treated if they were displaying the same behaviour.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
I 100% agree with that because, I mean, like, my sister, for example, I don't like my sister going out. I don't. But when she came to Bournemouth on a night out, there's other door staff I know. I'm like messaging them like, yo, like, here's a picture of my sister. If she kicks off about anything, call me. Don't let her in. Like, I was really like, I just didn't want her to be out. But then again, I have to understand, like, you're older, but you just need to respect, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
And you will have, like, you know what? This is one thing that gets to me a lot of the times. You know, when something does happen, right? And you have certain, like, law students, like, they're just in uni. They want to tell they want to tell you how to do your job and the law around your job.
Yeah.
And when there was a time where I've actually questioned my sister about it before, and I said to her, don't ever use that to door staff, you know. I know, yes, you're very smart. I know you're very, like, you passed your degree, like, high grades and that. But that's one thing, don't use the security guards, because it's like, we're just doing our job.
Yeah.
So if you had to defend someone at court, you're doing your job. But that's one thing that bugs me is when they do that, it bugs me, man. That one, or the one where it's like, when they get their cameras out and they're like, like, I need your badge number. A lot of times I'm like, hey, I could be a police officer at this point, you know? Like, if you want to take the badge, just right here, feel free. I got no issues with you taking it. At the end of the day, we're in camera in different, different spots.
Yeah.
So whatever you say, there's cameras there, body camera.
Yeah.
Feel free to post what you like. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind the cameras, man. Like, feel free. Yeah.
Well, you don't mind because you're doing it right.
But yeah,
Exactly.
you're on camera right now.
So we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, about the cameras?
Yeah.
I said now one of the things that's a nightmare is the fact that there's cameras, social media. Before you've even written the instant logbook up, it's on Facebook or something. But you're absolutely right. As long as you do the job right, you got nothing to worry about.
And this is something I've always said. Like, as long as I'm doing my job right, I'm not worried.
No.
I will still go home and sleep perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
If I was actually like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna bend this person up and that.
Exactly that.
I'm going to be thinking, wait, are they hurt or this or that? No, I'm doing my job right. I'm going home and I'm laying in my bed and I'm sleeping. Fine.
And the body worn cameras is such a good piece of equipment for us to use as well, aren't they? So when security at the hospital, is that working privately for the NHS or is that subcontracted by a company or
subcontracted? So in-house, all hospitals have their own security team. A lot of the times you might just only have two of them. A lot of the times you might just have one. But we will mainly deal with like obviously patients like 1-to-1. So there might be a case where we get a patient who's very high rated. I'm not too sure how you know medically on this, but some patients who like have UTIs, they switch. They just want to get angry about things, quite high rated about things. But we'll be that one to just give the nurses that little step back. We're there. We can help if the patient needs something. We're more than happy to do it. You guys don't always have to be getting like hurt or anything like that. And one thing, and see me, if I do patient watch, and I know my patient is like very aggressive towards staff, as soon as the staff enters that room, I'm right there.
Yeah,
I am right there. So like the distance is like this.
Yeah.
So if they go to throw a punch at you or something, I'm able to put myself in the way. I don't mind getting hit. Like at the end of the day, I do the doors. So getting hit is just like, okay, cool, don't mind. But at the end of the day, I'm protecting someone who's
brilliant,
more medically trained and is more needed in that room more than me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to leave a nurse to go in a room by herself, or it could be male, female, doesn't matter. I will always be just there because that's my patient that I need to be looking after. And not only that, I'm having to keep you safe. So as long as I'm close by and I can prevent something from happening, I'm happy with that.
Because they're big buildings, these hospitals, aren't they now?
Huge,
they're getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So is it a case if, I assume you have a pager or response bleeper or something?
Technically, we're not supposed to because that's the in-house job. The in-house guys, they have to deal with majority of that. Like any other wards. If you're like allocated to ED, for example, you're based strictly for ED. Might be a case where if you're just with a 1-to-1, you're just allocated to that patient. So you don't really get a bleep. I mean, I've taken a bleep a few times because I know there's only one guy on. So I'm like, yeah, cool, don't worry, like, well, I don't mind helping you. Like, if anything, if I've got nothing to do in ED, right, I'm very strange. Some people would say I'm weird. But if I do a patrol, right, for the 17 ED, I do patrol. Before 12 o'clock, my patrols are every 30 minutes. So if you go on a camera, you could look at 30 minutes past the hour. You will see me doing my patrol. After 12 o'clock, it's every 45 minutes. I have a timer on my phone. So as soon as I've done that patrol, I press the timer again, I go again. You know why I do that? It covers me. It shows that I'm actually doing my job. It shows I'm going to every department as well. So, I mean, doing that just gives off that, like, it just shows people that security are about.
Yeah, that's
you
good.
know what I'm saying? It just shows that. So, I mean, with bleeps and everything like that, that's to do with the other guys. That's not to do with me. But I don't mind going the extra mile and be like, let me keep one on me. If you need me, radio me, I'm going to come help you. I've got no issues. No issues with going to give a hand.
Yeah.
Again, it's just being helpful.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I've got a question. When it comes to the physical side of things, you're obviously dealing with people that are sometimes high on drugs or non-pain compliant things. Non-pain compliant techniques often are not going to work.
Yeah.
Have you had many situations, or have you had to do any extra additional training, physical restraint training, or?
I mean, some people obviously they do like mixed martial arts, they do boxing and things like that, obviously to protect themselves. But I mean, when you do your actual SIA training, and this is one thing I like nowadays, is that they've upped it. You know, and it used to be like, I used to be like a day, 2 days.
Yeah.
And now it's like a 3 days. So you have a full day where it's obviously physical intervention. Sorry. So the skills that you learn there, you might not use that skills for like 6-7 months. You might not use it for like a year.
Yeah.
But you're gonna eventually use it. So
Yes.
you have to look at it in a way, okay, cool, I might put your arm behind your back, but I'm not gonna pull your arm behind your back and pull your arm up, because I'm not trying to break your arm. I'm just trying to let you know I've got hold of you at the moment. I need you to try and relax. I know this might not be comfortable for you, but I'm just here just to protect, obviously, all of us from you retaliating a lot more.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So there's no, I think what Mark was saying, there's no extra training on top of the SIA training for you to work with hospital.
You can, there isn't. If you want to do extra training, you can. But the hospitals do with their security, they have certain training that they have to do anyway. So like obviously you've got us guys who obviously have SIA badge.
Yeah.
We do obviously SIA training. The hospital has their own type of training that their guys do.
So am I right in saying that the hospital staff, they're not SIA, are they? Or are they?
Majority are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
Regardless, they're protected under the hospital.
That's
ground.
right. Yeah. That's what I
But
wondered.
majority of them are. I would probably say you might find one.
Yeah, no, it's good that they are. It's good they are.
But which is good though, because then again they've already had training, but they've had two different type of training. What hospital wants you to do to how to restrain a patient, how to deal with a patient when might have a psychotic patient or something like that. Then they've got the side of the SIA where if they need to be more physical, then they can be more physical.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Are you offered any therapeutic support? Because we spoke about this in other episodes. Working in a hospital, you're gonna see some awful things.
Yeah.
You're gonna see people coming in with nasty injuries, but not only that, you're gonna be there with people as they lose loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to reel off the worst case scenarios that can happen in hospitals. People can come up with their own imaginations, but you will be there with that, and you'll be there trying to manage someone's aggression as they're processing those emotions. Are you offered any clinical supervision at a later date to try and so you don't take those feelings on yourself, or you don't live with that trauma going forward?
No, we don't. But everyone's different, so everyone deals with it in a different way. Me, I'm weird. I'll just go for a walk. Like, let's say, for example, I've had some craziness happen the night before. I might go home and I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm just going to go for a walk. But I'll be processing it that way. But I'm talking to myself.
Yes.
Like, it's going to sound so strange, but I'm talking to myself. I've got videos on my phone where I'm driving home in the morning and I'm literally recording myself talking to myself. But that's the way how I cope with certain things.
Yeah.
Is that, yes, I might be the person who bottles everything up. I don't speak about anything. But if you go on my phone, I've got hundreds of videos where I'm generally chatting to myself about something. Yeah. And just the other day, I called my kid's mom and I was like, she's like, where are you? Like, you've done school run. Like, ain't you supposed to go do something? I'm like, yeah, but I'm just going for a walk. And I'll send my location. But what I do is I send my location to my mom, my sister, and her. So if anything does happen, they have my live location. But I just go for a walk. That's how I will deal with it. But I'm not too sure about other guys. But that's,
Interesting.
It's easier for me to process everything and speak to myself than for me to obviously go like, can I chat to you about this or that?
Yeah.
I just find that a lot easier to be by myself. Yeah.
What's the shift patterns like there?
I do 12 to 12. Not 12 to 12, sorry. I do 7 to 7. But sometimes like you could do 5 till 7. But mine's mainly 7 till 7. And because it corresponds to obviously where, like when I'm at work, I work night shifts. So my kids, I know they're safe there with their mum.
Yeah.
She works daytime. So I know I've got to deal with everything. So my sleep pattern is completely broken up.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah.
But trust me, when I put my head on that pillow, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I've got no issues with going to sleep.
Yeah.
But it does the shift patterns, they're 12-hour shifts.
Is it 4 on 4 off? Or?
Nah, me personally, I will probably do, sometimes I do full 7 days.
Wow.
Sometimes I do 6 and I do 5. I kind of do it more based on if my kids have anything to do. So I'll be like, my boss would be like, what can you do next week? And I'll be like, okay, cool, well, Yasmin's got football on Tuesday, for example. Let me take Tuesday off because I know obviously I'm going to be quite busy. I'm going to have Remy all day by myself. So let me take that day off and I'll work the rest of the week. So it's like, for example, like this week, I was supposed to have Monday off, but my boss was like, do you mind giving me a hand? I said, yeah, cool, no worries. Done the Monday. I've worked every day this week. Tonight, I don't mind because obviously I don't start my door shift till 9.
Yeah.
So I've got that whole day process to take care of things, do this, do school, everything like
makes
that.
sense.
Then I know obviously for the weekend, I'm again back at the hospital. So it does make sense in how I do everything. I do it in a way where I don't care about everyone else, like in my house or anything like that. My kids is how I do everything around them.
Nice.
That's how, and it works perfectly. It works absolutely perfectly. And a lot of people say to me, "But isn't co-parenting hard?" No, like you just have a communication and you know you're doing things to your kids. That's why I stayed on nights. I can go today's, but no, if I stay on nights, my kids are with me.
Yeah.
Daytime, they're with their mom. So I do say to my boss the days when I can work, due to the fact is I'd rather my kids are with me or their mom.
Yeah.
But there are times where I do like longer shifts.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Because you know when you get tired and then you're like, you've got past that tiredness.
Yeah.
You're in a whole just burst of energy. It's like, well, I might as well we'll go to sleep now. I might as well stay on for a bit longer.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, weren't we? Length of shift and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So how long have you worked in hospital for?
Yes, I've done hospital for like 8 years.
Were you there during the COVID pandemic?
Yeah. I was at Dorchester at them times. Yeah, that was busy. That was the first time I've ever done a 24-hour shift in my life.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was that bad. But my boss was like, do you mind, obviously, do you know anyone that can just cover that shift? I said, forget that, man. I'll do the shift.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know how far mom lives from the hospital. So I'm like, don't worry, just give me the following day off. I'll do the shift. Oh, trust me, I probably went through about 6 or 7 Red Bulls. Like the big cans, by the way.
Again, we were talking about it as
previous
well.
episodes we brought that
and
up.
even like coffees, I'll do coffees every hour. So even when the next I had to go to mom's, I did not even get changed. I sat on the sofa and I went, I'm going to sleep, passed out.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because we look back on COVID now with a very different perspective. But during the peak of the pandemic, there was so much fear.
Yes.
I mean, you must have been terrified being in the hospital, especially if you've got vulnerable family members at home.
And my daughter was a baby at them times.
Yeah.
So it's like, if me personally, like obviously where I'm doing hospitals, I will always go. So I used to take a change of clothes with me. And to be fair, I do it now. Like in the boot of my car, I've always got change of clothes. But I will come for my shift and I'm standing right in the car park. And I'm literally getting change. But then I'll get to the house now and I'll strip right in front of the door because obviously I don't want my kid coming to hug me or anything like that. So I'll literally get changed and be like, yo, I'm going straight towards the shower. And obviously where we have 2 bathrooms, I'm like, I call this bathroom was the allocated bathroom for me to be in because I've got to like clean properly. And bro, I was like, I'm telling you, I'm in that shower for like 10 minutes. Because obviously I'm dealing with being in the hospital. Yes, I know you have PPE, but not only that is I'm touching things which is relating with other people as well.
Yeah.
You're getting people coming in by ambulances, people are on wards. PPE don't always help.
No.
It doesn't always help. So you do have to take that extra precaution yourself.
There's extra risks, because it must have been a very scary time working through COVID.
Yeah, I definitely think it was because the amount of people I've seen come in or they've come out of the hospital crying because their loved one has passed away or whatever. I'm just like, well, it did open my eyes to like a lot and hand sanitizing. A lot.
Yes.
That was one of the key things. I used to carry my little bottle on the side. But I used to hand sanitize. And anytime I go into a ward, come out, hand sanitizing.
Did you get any pressure from family members to not go into work because they were scared you might bring the virus home?
Nah, so my mom is very like, she used to question me. Sure you want to go to work, obviously, because of what's going on. Remember, you got a young child. I'm like, no, it's fine. So at the end of the day, I got bills to pay. So for me, it was just like, okay, you know what? I'll go to get my job done. And then I'm not having to worry. But I kind of took the route of let me just obviously be the extra, like take extra precautions. So that's why again I had the little gel thing on me. So no matter if I was just coming out of the door and I've got to hold the handle, do a little squirt,
it's good,
do it with my hand, absolutely fine. So my mom was more the one that was quite worried because obviously of my daughter. But there were times where she was like, "Girl, like this has happened." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm good. It's okay. If I fall ill, mom, come on, like there's a hospital. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine." And I'm that type of person that would just be like, "If I get ill, cool, say no more. Just leave me be." But again, I can't really think of that because I have a child. But yeah, I'd say my mum was that one person that was always checking out, like, are you okay? Like, have you had any symptoms? Oh, by the way, I'm telling you, this woman would call me sometimes, 6 o'clock in the morning. Have you done your swab? I'm like, Mum, I'm good. Like, no, have you done it? I think at least probably twice, 3 times a week. I used to get phone calls just to ask me that question.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, nah, Mum, I'm good. Don't worry.
Well, it spread so much fear through people, didn't it?
It did,
And if you
yeah.
didn't know, it was very scary, especially older generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as we look back on COVID now, it's easy to forget actually how scared people were.
Yeah.
And
with those big red letters, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 15,000 people dead today. It's
I
like,
know. Yeah, and
I've always wanted to know how they actually measured that.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
always, because when you used to see the tally chart going up, I used to think, how are you guys actually measuring that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of hospitals in the UK.
Yeah.
And ain't you supposed to like have obviously not coroner, but you have like someone who goes and say, yeah, the person's passed away. It doesn't get updated straight away.
No,
No.
can't
So
do.
how can you tell exactly how many?
Yeah, I always thought that as well.
I used to think about it like, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
so what's the morale like for staff in the hospital in general?
Boy, good.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but
No. I mean, you do have different people. Like some people, I would generally look and be like, "Wait a second, do you actually know what you're doing here?" Some people, you're like, "Okay, cool." Like, just leave them to it. But I kind of just pupil watch quite a lot, to be fair. But everyone gets along with it because they're there to help each other. They're
Yeah.
there to support people's families and things like that. You might get the issue where, oh, there's this click over here or that click over there, but again, it's just a vibe.
Because every time I've had to go into any hospital, all I've seen is staff just tired, not
Yeah.
stopping, go. You hear stories of nurses, especially not taking a lunch break, working
Mhm.
through,
True.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely reckon that every single ward should at least have like their staff at least like get like a 2 hour sleep or something. Because you do look at some nurses, bro, and they're run down. They're run down. Not so much doctors, but nurses. A lot of people will say, "Oh, doctors does the main things." Like, yes, they do. But who takes care of everything else? That's that.
No,
It's
they
the
do a
nurses.
lot. They
So
do a lot.
nurse, and this is why I've always said, see me before I even did hospitals. Yeah, I used to say to mom like, nurses they don't do that much, man. You lot are just chilling and all of this. When I done it, when I started myself and I seen what was going on, I seen like how nurses are running from that patient to this patient,
Yeah.
having to do this and that. I sat back and I thought, wow, that first week I went home and I said to mom, I was like, I will never doubt another nurse again in my life.
Yeah.
Because yes, okay, when a nurse tells you she's tired, she's genuinely tired. It's not like some people who will be
Yeah.
at home and they're like, oh, they come out just for like 20 minutes and they say to their friend, oh, I'm tired, you know.
Yeah.
But they ain't done nothing all day or all week.
Yeah.
No, these nurses and them, they are tired.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when they're tired. And this is why a lot of them, nighttime, coffee after coffee, Red Bull after Red Bull, Monster after Monster. But some of them will just be like, nah, I'm just gonna, like you said, work through it, do the whole entire shift. And then when they're leaving, they're tired.
Yeah.
Like, don't get twisted, like, that's happened to some, like, security guards as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, me, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, we
I've-
spoke about in the previous
Yeah.
And, you know, like, Dorchester bypass, yeah? I was driving, car in cruise control. In my head, I'm thinking that I'm driving. Nope, the car is stopped and I'm sleeping. That's where, I mean, this was in COVID. This was in COVID.
I was lucky no one was on the road.
No, one of the doctors stopped and he actually, like, was banging the glass. And I was like, what? And then he followed me into Dorchester.
Wow.
But you do get that level of tired
Yeah,
when
I've had
you're
that.
doing long shifts.
Yeah.
When you constantly doing 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts, you do get tired. And I will always have sympathy for nurses when they say they're tired. Because they're not joking. They are genuinely tired. Them 4 ones, like, okay, cool, yeah, you got 4 days off. But in that 4 days, they've got to get everything ready for work.
Yeah, that's it. And they've got families and
Yeah.
So I would definitely say, yeah, I have a big sympathy for nurses, and then when it comes to them, being
yeah, me
tired,
too.
definitely.
Absolutely. So, have you experienced any or suffered any significant injuries working in the hospital, or do you know anyone who has been injured at work working in security at the hospital?
Yeah. So I've been called to. I was an ED at the time, and I got called to a ward because one of the guys, like a patient, he swung for the guard, female guard, broke her nose. I was like, when I got there, I was like, what's going on? She was like, yeah, like the patient's obviously broke her nose, this, and I was like, wow. But me physically in the hospital, I think the most I've had is just getting pushed.
Yeah.
That's probably it. No, I've never had someone actually like punch me or anything like that. Alright, cool. I've had the racial slurs, but again, this is people who are like elderly back them times there and things like that. You just ignore it. Like, okay, cool. I understand in your time it's a bit different, but you just gotta just bite the bullet and just be like, yeah, cool, no worries, and just keep your calm with them. But I've never physically had anyone like hurt me or anything like that.
Because that's another dynamic, isn't it? If someone was in a pub or a club playing up, we can ask them to leave. We can eject them if we need to. If someone's playing up in a hospital, but they're in need of urgent medical care, and they're still just playing that track, can't kick them out of hospital and stop them getting treatment. Can you?
And I think that affects how you deal with them.
Yeah,
because you know it in a pub or club, licensing law is always on your side. Ultimately, you can ask them to leave. You can't ask them to leave a hospital where they're half dead.
No.
So yeah, it does affect you. You go into it in a whole different approach, don't you?
I mean, even with the doors though, like you think like someone start kicking off and you go to them, mate. I like to do I'm gonna give you the 2 warnings. The third one, then the third one, I'm just saying, listen, you've got to leave now.
Yeah.
So I like to be like, look, like just calm it down a bit. Yeah, you're not just the only people in here. There's other people. If I've got to go back to the same group again, guys. This is the second time, third time. It would just be literally just for you guys to leave. And I would say a lot of the times people like my door, like a lot of people genuinely leave because I have squaddies, I have locals. All the locals in them, I know majority. I would say at least 9 out of 10 of them, I know them.
Yeah.
So like, because I've been there for so long. Squaddies, obviously, that's always changing. But a lot of them, they do have respect for us as well. You do get the ones who just like to get crazy, but you got to go tell the group, like, look, just calm down a bit. Say it too many times, you all got to leave. But a lot of times when you say to one, that look, like, yo, you're playing up too much, other people in the group might get onto that one and be like, yo, listen, let's just chill, just calm down.
That's right.
And I think that's because they obviously have respect for security as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say, probably do it, to be fair. But to us, it's a bit different when you have to kick out someone and they're like, oh, like, you always get the ones who are like, yeah, I'm just a big guy that, I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, that just means like, if we really and truly had to go to it, it just means I've got to use more physical force than anything else. And trust me, I've had it where some people are taller than me. I'm thinking, right, in my head, I've got to process quickly. How am I going to like get you hold before you can get to me?
Yeah.
But with my door, I don't get that issue. If I've seen people having fights outside, I'm talking big guys having fight outside, and I'll be standing there and be like, no, yo, you gotta go this way. But again, they have respect for me because I've always had respect for them.
Yeah, that's good.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've had travellers come in and always friendly with me. All right, good, yeah. Because they all normally have like a festival like on the other side of the field. And every time they come down, oh, there's a security guard, I was good. I'm like, I'm chatting with them. We're just chatting about random things. And let's say someone decides to want to have a fight with them. I'm like, yo, listen, just do me a favor. Just stand over there. I'll deal with that. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. You know what? We'll leave it. We'll deal with this away from your venue.
Yep.
Okay? Again, it's not my business.
Yeah.
Not in my vicinity. I can't do anything about it. But yeah, you do have to, it's quick thinking. When someone comes to, like, when they want to be antagonizing to you or anything like that, it is quick thinking that you've got to. It's not a second where you got to stand there and don't get twisted. I've seen guards who literally stand there whilst I'm dealing with something. I'm thinking, bro, like, go deal with these lot here. I'm having to deal with these guys here. But you do get that, like, time where you have to think to yourself really quickly on how you're going to de-escalate that situation. And I mean, talking's not always like, it doesn't always work. But it should be the first protocol.
I think we've said in episodes before, and the standard, it's the general standard of the industry is coming down. Is that something you would agree with?
I would say. I'll actually say the standard, but then again, it favours the public more. If you think about it, because for example, let's say you've obviously kicked someone out, they've hurt themselves. They go to the police and say, oh yeah, like the security guard was just like, your badge is going on an investigation until the whole thing's happened. You see what I'm saying? And I even had it 2 months ago where like the officers they looked at the footage, they said I didn't do anything wrong. I was doing my job. The guy said he wanted to press charges against me.
Really?
Because I literally kicked him out. I pulled him off the other guy and I kicked him out. And I just thought to myself, the whole drive home, I was thinking, I could have just lost my badge.
Yeah.
Like if he damaged himself, I could have lost my badge. So I think it's now favouring the public more than protecting security.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's almost, I don't want to use the words unfair, but it's a little bit one-sided, isn't it? Because if a member of the Republic attacks us and we fall to the floor, come second best, we could get really hurt.
Yeah. Oh, massively.
But the person who's trying to attack us goes into that conflict knowing that if we get the better of them, we can only go so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, it's almost a little bit, you don't want to go back 30 years to how it was then. But I do think there is a bit of entitlement from the public now.
There is. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think of it this way as well. Let's say, for example, you're having a scuffle with someone on the floor, for example, and then let's say they end up hurting themselves. They end up hurting you. You are more likely to have to deal with them. If let's say it goes to court, for example, just going to be like, well, you're trained to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, cool, but if there's 3 people against me, I'm getting my head kicked in, but yet my badge is at risk because I've decided to swing the punch.
Absolutely.
That don't make no sense. Like, what? So I'm supposed to just stand there and be like, yeah, guys, you know what? Just use me as a punching bag. And then what? Police comes and then obviously they take your report. And then it's like, okay, cool. Now you're thinking to yourself, wait, am I going to get in trouble for this? Have I done the right thing? You start playing it around in your head.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, body cameras is the best thing that's happened.
Yeah, they are.
Because obviously it protects like the actual security guards.
Do you wear them at hospital?
Yeah. We have like small little ones, just clip on to you.
Yeah,
that's good.
But I have my own one as well.
Yeah.
So I bought mine about 4 or 5 years ago. I bought mine, and a lot of times I wear it, but I keep it obviously in the car. So if I need it, it's in the car. There's been times where I've generally I could be going home from work, issues happen like on the door. And then I've had to jump out of the car to try and break it up. Oh, it's not in my vicinity, like on my door part. But I'll be like, yo, like, you guys, like, stop this shit. But I'll have my body camera on. So if anything does happen, I've got footage of it. Because not every time you've got someone in a control room in a town watching those cameras, let's be honest. So if I've got my camera on and it catches it, say no more. And this is one of the reasons why I like having a dash cam in my car. Yeah. Because I've caught fights on that dash cam before. And I've had to rewatch it the next day, like, right, okay, like, this really happened. But then again, you do kind of, some people pick and choose to wear it. Some people just don't wear it at all. If I can wear one and there's one available, I'm putting it on just to save myself.
Yeah. So for all the time you've worked at the hospital, have you worked for the same company?
Yeah.
That's a long time to hold a contract that big, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know more than me, I guess.
I think they've held that contract 10 years or so, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a case of a contract there's a time on it and it may have to come up to renewal and then it goes out to tender, or is it just a case of it's a rolling contract and someone can come in and try and win that contract?
I'm not even sure.
I think often what happens is they go out to tender.
Yeah.
When then they're big contracts or that. So that like the local government have a little shake up and they say, right, go to tender, and you'd have to reapply. It's normally once every year or 2 years.
Okay.
But ultimately, if they're happy with the service, they're not going to quibble too much over the money.
I would definitely say that's the reason why I reckon, obviously, we've held the contract for so long.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, some of our guys will go above and beyond. Like, not just obviously for patients, but for nurses, for site managers, things like that. So, if you have a company and your guys are giving good service, they're not going to want to change that.
That's true.
They're going to be like, okay, cool, like, we've loved the service that you guys are giving us. You're helping us. You're making sure things are in order.
Yeah.
Why are we going to change and bring another company and then we've got to see what they can do? What if that company you bring in is not as good as as what your previous company is doing? It's not going to make sense. You're going to have to hurry up for that tender to then bring your company back.
Absolutely.
Or they then don't have the cards to supply. You see what I'm saying? So I think it kind of just makes sense of you put that good work in, you get recognized for your company, it benefits not just you, but it benefits your company.
Yeah, absolutely.
It definitely does. Like, I mean, some guys in our company, we've even like won awards from hospitals from patients, or like we've gone that extra mile for a family member or something like that, and they've given us praise. They've contacted our company, given us praises.
So you guys are getting recognised for your good work as well. That's good. That,
I mean, that's like, don't get to say it strokes your ego, because you're like, I did my job well. Like,
that's good though.
But like, you will have some people who will genuinely call up our company and be like, by the way, this gentleman, he's helped me, or this female, they've helped me, and I'm very proud of it. Give you an example. We do festivals quite a lot, right? There was a guy. His mum is in one of those mobility scooters, right? His missus got to walk with 2 crutches. The entrance that they had to go, this was at Little Down, right? So you know the bottom part, you got the 3G pitch fit.
Yeah.
You know, you can go through the bottom part to like come upstairs.
Yeah.
Right. So that was locked off because obviously weren't allowed anyone inside. And I was like, no, I was like, yo, like, she's obviously got the mobility screw. They were gonna have to go all the way around to the top. But then obviously, even when they get to the top now, you still can't go in the building. So I was like, nah, it's cool, like, come with me, I'll guide you through, then we can go upstairs and lift, and you guys can go by where you actually need to do by the top bar. And when I was going up with them, he was like, bro, like, thank you. You literally went an extra mile. Kid you not, when they were leaving, I don't know if obviously it's the husband or the dad or what, he went to my boss. I stood with my boss, and he was like, this gentleman has literally helped me and made my family's life so much easier.
Wow.
And I stood there and I just literally looked like, hold on, you literally gone all the way out your way to come over here and said this. I looked at my boss like, yeah. I was like, that's me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go the extra mile for people, hey, you do get recognized for it. Our bosses then gives us the recognition for it, man. They do.
That's really, really good. That's that, because it speaks volumes that your company's held that contract for as long as it has. That for me is the ultimate test of the service you're given.
Yeah.
Because the people who are spending the money are happy with the service. So for a company to hold a contract that long shows to me that guys on the ground are doing their jobs correctly.
Extra mile, like you said, value for money.
Yeah.
You can do the basic or you can do the extra. It always pays off.
And it's really good to hear you say that you guys also get recognised when you put that extra mile in as well. So,
I mean, some people do think that, like I said, some people just think, you're getting paid to do all of this and you're not even doing much. Yes, there are times where we have nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking nothing. Like, all you're doing is just your patrols, or you might go talk to a nurse or this and that. But again, we're there to give a service. If something does happen, you need a hand with like a bed being transferred from one room to another room, you might just help a nurse out so she don't crash into other people or something like that.
Absolutely.
But again, some nurses recognize that. They recognize that. I've been like Pool Hospital, for example, where they've like been like, oh no, right, this week, for example, right? When I got there on the Monday, one of the supervisors was like, oh, like, are you here for the rest of the week? I was like, I didn't even know you guys needed guards for the rest of the week. Yeah, no, like, can we have you guys for the rest of the week? But do me a favor, just plant the seed to your boss here so we can have you here. I'm like, okay, cool. But they never worry about with me because they know if a bleep goes off, I'm attending.
Yeah.
I'm not far.
Yeah.
I have 3 certain spots that I would sit. I'm still in ED. See what I'm saying? So if the nurse needs me, all she's got to do is turn her back. I'm sat right there. Or she's just got to walk from probably about 5 yards. I'm sat there. Or I'm literally sat at the other bit. So I'm literally where the nurse in charge can see me of each department. You can see where I am. You know exactly where I am. Supervisors know where I am. And this is why I think I don't really get, like, no one really comes at me about anything, because I'm going to be here or here, but I've got my radio. If anything goes on, I'm there quickly.
And I'm right in thinking you two have a mutual friend, don't you?
Yeah, so Jose, if he's watching, which I hope he will be.
Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Make sure you send it to him. He, I was saying when you said you work for that company, what a great guy Jose was. He worked for me years ago. He did the nightclubs, the events, static. Then he started doing nighttime operation stuff, and one of the nicest guys one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the security industry. And he really is. And I told you the little story. He's the only person I know, apart from family, that every Christmas Day will ring or message and say "Happy Christmas, boss" or whatever. And he hasn't worked for me in like 7 or 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great guy. So I hope he is listening, and you're in good hands with Jose.
He's one of them people that will go the extra mile for you.
Always go the extra mile.
If you got an issue with something, yes, I know there are times where he's not always gonna be like want to go the extra mile because he's quite busy. I understand that fully because he has a lot to deal with. But if he can go the extra mile for you, well, he's got no issues with doing that at all, and he's always fair.
Yeah,
he is always fair. That's one thing about him.
So I'd like to get on Jose on here one day.
That'd be good.
From a perspective of nighttime operations,
Yeah.
Working for a big organisation, what happens when the day management are clocked off and the pressure's on him, the responsibilities. So we should get him on.
Yeah,
he's quite a character, massive. We have to have a big sofa for him. He's a big guy. But
well, in the past we've asked for examples of good practice, and I'm pleased to say that we've got a good example of good practice here, and it sounds like there's a good culture for your company and your place of work. Khalil, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Genuinely, thank you so much for keeping our NHS staff safe.
Yeah,
I think they are amazing, and the fact that you are looking out for them, and there's other people like you looking out for them, and looking out for us when we're in hospital.
Yeah,
and
you learn a lot, man. You learn a lot. You see a lot.
Yeah,
I've literally seen Candler's been putting all of these things. I'm thinking this is actually amazing to watch.
Yeah,
I don't mind blood, but when you watch these things, it's wow, it's a different world. It's a different, completely different.
So we really appreciate you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us on this episode. Please share this with your friends and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Shift Handover.
Lovely.
Take care.
Thanks very much.
Bye.